And then we're going to do the same with military factories. And military factories we can build in the similar areas. It doesn't really matter. So we can, I would say, try and aim for the places that have 60 or 70 or 50.
Alright.
But if they're not around, it doesn't matter that much. So we're just going to put a few there and here. And now, because we are the Soviet Union, we're going to be building a lot of troops. We want more military factories from the bat than we do civilians. Now, we can always delete these a bit later if we should have a change of our mind, or a change in production, or a change in need.
Alright.
Now we can generally leave it like this for now, I think. Unless you want to build a few naval dockyards. Now, we can do that. Now, naval dockyards, it doesn't matter where you put them as long as they're on a coast. And you defend that coast. So generally, let's not put it around Japan, because I can never defend the coast of Japan. They always land troops there, so let's not put it around there. I'd say maybe a good place to put it is right there near Sevastopol. In Crimea is a good place to put a couple. Maybe a couple down here, maybe a couple there, and put one there. And that should generally do us for now, I think.
No.
You always put more later. So that can bring up our military a bit more. Next, we're gonna assign factories. So if you click on like the little factory, if you click on little production tab or anything like that, just go to the factory thing. Now, we want to look at what we need most of. Okay, so I would say, because with the Soviet Union, let's max out infantry equipment. That's what I've done right there. We have 15 lines of infantry equipment. Now they have changed the game a bit more, so we click on that ×5, it changes it, so we have 5, 5, 5. When we click on another one, it'll add another 5 to it. But let's not do that. For now, we need the factories. So we can do that. I don't know if that updated for you.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. So now, what else do we need? We probably will need mortar artillery, so let's assign 3 units there, I mean. And to light tanks, let's assign 2 more. And assign 3 more to support equipment. I don't know if this is helping you. I'm just showing you basically how I would generally do the start of the game with the Soviets. Motorized infantry, let's give them another one. Fighters, let's put them up to 4 if possible. We can't yet, but let's just leave it like that. Fighters are going to be very important in this game. Now we have an option here. We can either let these finish, or we can delete the ships. We can either let them finish their production, or we can delete them. Now, they will take a while, but mostly we're building submarines and we're building destroyers, so they won't take as long as, I'd say, a battle cruiser. But let's ignore the whole Navy thing, because the Navy for me is a bit too complicated for even myself.
Oh.
So we have one factory that's not in use, so just build a convoy. Just build a single convoy, and you can do that. There we go. And then we can just do that, and that every time when they finish production, they'll automatically sign those 3 naval dockyards. When they finish their 4 destroyers, they'll sign those 2 naval dockyards to this.
Okay.
And this does not run out. So we can keep it like that for now. We'll come back to that a bit later when it becomes a bit more important. Now, another thing is variance. So I'd say click on the tank. Let's use this because this is something I generally edit myself. So if you click on the tank, if you click on the tank in the production tab, you see that you've got that little
Create variant.
Create variant. Yes, click on that. Then this does cost military points, military army experience. You can increase armor. I don't know if it's updating for you or not.
No.
Okay, so click on armor. Just increments it by 1, and click on plus once, and you'll see it'll go increase its max speed. It'll decrease its max speed by 0.2, and its reliability by -4%. But its armor goes up by 0.5%. You can also do reliability. Click on reliability by 1 and decrease armor by 1. It'll just increase its reliability by 8. So we can now click on both. So its reliability will go up by +4, its max speed will go down by -0.2%, and then its armor will go up by 0.5%. Now we've got the main gun, which will just increase soft attack and hard attack a little bit, but also decrease their speed and their speed, but it will also increase the armor piercing. Engines will generally just increase, I think. It will increase, I think.
Speed.
I don't remember what engines do.
Speed.
Yeah. They'll increase their speed. But for now, we don't have anything for that, and you don't necessarily have to do that. And you can also name it as well. Excuse me.
Excused.
You can also name it as well. So instead of just having like T26A, you can have it like dumb farts or whatever. So you can do I don't always experiment with this because generally the base thing that the game gives you is fine. It's just generally if you're using outdated equipment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going with more superior weapons than you, it becomes more important. But if you can keep up in the same kind of level of tanks consistently throughout the game, which is impossible to do, even for the AI, you can generally just have that. Now, an important thing here for us, we're most likely going to be facing Germany very soon. Germany is very strong. Just go right-click on Germany and just like, so they've got 3 starting like
national spirits.
Yes. Now the first one is the bitter loser, which is plus 50% ideology defense, drift defense, which is a really good thing. Now then we have a general of staff, which is plus 5% division organization and plus 25% planning speed, which is really good. You have no idea how. Plus 5% organization, so it takes units current organization. So if we go click on the edit the infantry division we did earlier, you see its organization's 54. Now take 5% of 54 and add that to it. It's insanely good, especially if you have like 100 organization. You get plus 5. You get plus 5 organization to your unit. It's really helpful.
Yeah.
And then their last national spirit is a temporary one until they pay it off. Now this does cost political power. Now remember when we did that Germany game where we went neutral, right?
Yeah.
I kept the Mephibles till 1940, and I was making and the reason why I stopped getting the event is because I no longer had the political power to be able to pay it off. Now the Mephibles are really good. Minus 5% consumer goods factories, which I'll tell you what they are in a second. Plus 25% military factory construction speed. Plus 25% naval dockyard construction. Naval base plus 25%. Coastal fort plus 25% construction speed. Land fort plus 20. So you can just build everything 25% faster. All the main things, and minus 5% consumer goods factories, which is really good. So currently they have partial mobilization of which grants them 25% consumer goods factories, meaning that they only currently have 20% consumer goods factories. Do you know what a consumer goods factory is? It's basically the factories that you cannot use.
So
if you click on like
trade and that sort of thing.
No. Trade comes out of the ones that you use. So if we go to construction again, and you go right at the top there, you've got consumer goods and trade goods.
Where's this?
Trade goods, those are the ones that are in construction. Where you build the factories. So you see right at the top there, you've got consumer goods factories. We currently have 27 consumer goods factories. We cannot touch these, by the way. We cannot use them. They are used for consumer goods, obviously. They are used for the public, for making like public stuff that we can't use, that we don't need. And then we've got trade goods, which are the factories that you have that are currently in use by other countries that you've paid for to get resources from. So if you hover over that, it will say we have 1 civilian factory for 8 robo, and we expect 35% of our total number of factories to produce consumer goods. So hover over like the 1, right? And it says right there at the bottom, Dutch East Indies, 1 civilian factory for 8 robo.
Oh, I was looking at.
If you hover
I was looking at a
37,
completely different thing where you were looking at. I completely missed the. I was looking at the picture of the factory with 41 out of 41.
Okay.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
No, that's just currently the factories that we can use that are in use. They're none available at the moment.
Right.
So if you hover over that little 27 as well, it'll say we expect currently due to our economic policy, 25% of our total number of factories to produce consumer goods. This is filled by civilian factories. That leaves us with 15 that we can use for either build, construction, or trade. Now that is a bit of a how you change the amount of consumer goods factories you have is if you go click on the flag, laws and government. You can get it through events as well, and sometimes you do get an advisor, which the Soviet Union does not have, but I think a country like Yugoslavia does have. That gives you -5. It gives you a bonus to -% to consumer goods factories. Currently, the Soviet Union has civilian economy, which gives us 35% consumer goods factories, meaning 35% of all our factories that we have. This is not civilian factories. This is factories. This includes naval dockyards and military factories. So you've got to keep on top of how much you have. Because that was, in my opinion, your mistake, where you built so many military factories at the beginning and you didn't build civilian factories first. So what would happen with you as Poland is eventually you will have too few civilian factories to be able to build anything. That's the problem you could run in with. So I'd say try and change that if you can. It might be too late because you only start with 9 that you can use.